I used to have a corporate job before I started doing this. I used to work for Pierce Manufacturing. Yes, they manufacture fire trucks, and I was a fire truck salesman. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Here's one thing I like to tell everybody, which you may not know, is Pierce Manufacturing will sell anybody in this room a fire truck. You don't have to be a fire department. You just have to have the money. And they'll sell you one. That's a fact. And I do not know how rappers have not figured this out. Seriously, in a world where bigger is better, why isn't Jay-Z rolling up the club in a fire truck? You know? Just like riding up. He's like, what's that, an Escalade? I'm in a fire truck, son. Rolling on 48s. Had him put a water tank full of liquor in the back. And I got plenty of hose for the hose up top, if you know what I'm talking about. This is bumping. Here's the thing, if you have a fire truck too, you can have a little more drinks than you'd normally have, and you can drive home safely. You can, because you're not going to hurt anybody. That's really the main point. You know, you've had one too many and you're unsure of yourself, just hop in your fire truck. Turn the lights and sirens on. Now everyone in front of you has to move to the side of the road and stop. And you have all the lanes to drive home in, safe and sound. Beautiful. I would get to drive the fire truck sometimes. I would get to deliver or demonstrate the truck, which meant sometimes I was in the fire truck alone. And I would always get very afraid that I would get behind a real accident. Because that's not good for anybody. Well, these people are in trouble, and they're like, oh my gosh, there's a fire truck right there. There's help inside. But I'm inside, so no, there is not. No, remember, I'm not an EMT. It's English Degree Steve at your service. No life-saving skills. I can correct your grammar. That's all I got. Just got to be that guy. When I left that job, I lost my health insurance. So now when I get sick, I go on the internet and diagnose myself. Don't do that. No, last year I had 4 yeast infections, so. It's not a banner year. It's bad. It's a joke, obviously. The for real part, and I'll share this with you, is when I did start doing comedy, I actually got sick for real. I ended up having a virus that affected my heart, and I ended up having an enlarged heart, which led to congestive heart failure and atrial fibrillation, and I ended up having surgery 5 years ago. All completely true. And I tell you guys about this because, like, in many ways, I'm lucky to be alive, and I am thoroughly convinced the only reason I'm here in front of you is because my sense of humor is what's brought me through it all. Like, in the darkest of times, I found laughter in the weirdest of places. And I think anybody who's ever dealt with, like, a medical illness, you find that to be true. Like, that's how you get through the tough times. Like I said, I had heart surgery about 5 years ago. They implanted something called an ICD, which is a fancy pacemaker. It also has a heart monitor and a defibrillator. If you've ever seen it on a person, it's located underneath the collarbone. And on me, you can actually see it underneath my skin. But what's hilarious to me is it looked like there's a Pepperidge Farm Milano cookie trapped underneath my skin right here. That's what it looks like. Some dude at the gym saw me without my shirt on in the locker room a couple weeks ago, and he got super confused. He was like, hey, bro, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think you ate that cookie wrong, because that's in a weird place, man. Well, it has a defibrillator for real, so if I have an arrhythmia, it figures it out, and it shocks me back into rhythm. But the doctors don't call it shocking you back into rhythm. They call it delivering therapy. Yeah, and they say the shock will feel like I got kicked by a horse. So when you hear your doctor calling it delivering therapy, it makes you want to punch him in the nose and be like, well, that's a massage then. Smart guy. You're playing that game. Like, I don't want the switcheroo at another doctor. I don't want to walk in and have a guy, hey, don't worry, it's not a colonoscopy today. No, we're just going to get in there and tickle your butt for like 6 or 8 hours. And you feel any pressure, that's a feather. Kitschy, kitschy, coo. I'm glad we're laughing, like you have to kind of take control of it. If you spend any time in the hospital, they humiliate you. It's just what happens. And like I say, if you don't laugh about it, you're going to be in big trouble. Here's kind of what sent me over the edge. Is when I had my procedure done for the ICD, they also did something called an ablation. And for that, they have to do catheterizations on each side of your groin. So they had to give me a shave downtown. Yeah, and I had been growing it out for a while. Yeah. You got to switch your look up for the ladies, you know? I was almost to the cornrow phase. I was going to call it the Allen Iverson. I'd cross it over, penetrate, and take it to the hole. So here's the thing. They gave me the shave, but they shaved here and here, and they didn't go directly down the middle. That was not in the brochure. So when I woke up from surgery, pretty groggy, I had to do several double takes before I realized that I had a male landing strip. Little Charlie Chaplin. Mr. T, I pity the fool. Like, connect the shave. Come on. Was there a copay I didn't know about? For $25, they would have done the whole thing, apparently. Ridiculous. So I'm a single guy, and I've started to date again because I've had this heart issue, and I'm kind of feeling good. So I'm back out there trying to date the ladies. And it's difficult because, like, I have this medical condition, so I feel like I want to be honest. I want to let the ladies know right away what's up with me. And I don't know how to do it, so originally my friend said I should go on the internet. An internet date. Yeah. I thought I could get it out of the way that way. I would just make my little internet posting and let her know what's up, and everything would be great. But I am not good at marketing, apparently. You know, the whole heart patient comedian with low credit score. Seeks a sugar mama who knows CPR. Hey. It's not working. But like I said, I want to be honest. I have to let the lady know, like, we could be out at a fancy dinner one night, you know, Olive Garden, something like that. And I could go face down into my chicken parmesan, and then 10 seconds later, you're going to hear zzz, and I'm back. Tiramisu. I'd have to warn her, look, if that happens, order a bottle of red wine, sit back, enjoy the show. And later she'd go call her friend when she got home. How was your date with Steve? Well, he did this pretty cool magic trick where he appeared to die in his food. And then he came back to life. He's spontaneous. I like him. Anything can happen. The thing is, I always know the ladies are thinking, Steve, if that thing goes off, we're sleeping together. Is that going to shock me? Only if you want it to. You know? I'm not going to judge you. If you want to work hard and ride the lightning, that is your business, lady. That's not me. That's you. You want to jump on old Sparky for a spin, have at it. I will just deliver some therapy and send you on your way.